Hello, everyone. I'm Satina, and welcome back to Plated Conversations, a space where I get to teach you some of my fun, easy, efficient recipes with ingredients you probably already have in your home. Today, we have a special guest, and I know I say special guest all the time, but we have Dr. Barrera in the house. His name is Dr. Hugo Barrera, but I'm not going to call him Hugo because I'm not going to go back to HR when I go to work, so I'm no fool. He is a father, a husband, a son, a brother, and a doctor. And before I started working at the hospital, I didn't know there were so many different kind of doctors, but he's a surgeon. So do you guys like anesthesiologists are like, we're better than them, or do you guys do that thing?
Oh, constantly, yeah.
Yeah?
Surgeons are definitely better than anesthesiologists, yeah.
I'll make sure to show all of the anesthesiologists that. What's your favorite procedure that you like to do?
Gosh, I mean, I'm a general surgeon, so some people think that means I do everything, but we do, certain types of operations. I like doing a lot of robotic surgery now. That's been this new thing in surgery. So, we get to do these operations through small incisions, and patients leave the hospital faster, less pain.
Less infection.
Yeah.
You have to talk about that as
well. It's sort of a fun thing to do, if you want to call it fun. I like doing hiatal hernias. That's kind of my favorite operation. So.
Yes, I think I got that down pat with you. We've
Yes.
worked together for approximately 5 years now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I started when Emery was 3 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's 5. Yeah.
And I've never gotten to meet Emery, and I'm really bummed about that.
No one will ever get to meet Emery. Emery will be when Emery is our special guest, that's when you know we've made it. Because that's when he'll talk to the camera, and I don't see that happening anytime in the future. I remember when we first started working together, I would be so nervous because I heard that Dr. Barrera was like really strict and you have to have this right and have that right. So who would you say is your favorite surgical tech at Sharp Chula Vista?
There's someone named Satina at the hospital, and she's the best.
Yeah.
By far.
And all of my friends that are watching that are surgical techs, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
So,
that's what it is.
Yeah, so today we're going to make some, do you eat plant-based? Have you ever eaten anything like really plant-based? Because I know you love to eat.
I love to eat, and I love vegetables. I love salads. And as I get older, and I worry about my figure and my health, I'm slowly, I think, becoming more vegetarian.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've made a concerted effort to eat less meat.
Yeah.
And I think it's healthier, and I love vegetables. So.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna love this today. It's gonna be really good.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be sweet potato, cauliflower, and beans. And this recipe, I would love to say was something I got out of a cookbook, but it was probably something left over, and I put it together, and I told the kids, "You're gonna eat it." And Emery didn't. He had cookies or something, but Layla ate it, and she loved it. So yeah. But it's going to be really easy. When I asked Dr. Barrera to be on the show, he let me know that he is not good with knives, but he's good with the scalpel. So I'll be doing the cutting this episode.
Please.
My insurance don't cover all that. We don't have that kind of insurance on the show yet. So the first thing we're going to do is...
I'm going to stand away from that knife. It's kind of big.
I know, but if I was to pass this to you like we pass it at work, how would I pass it to you?
You'd hold,
grab it like that.
Yeah, you would pass it you'd slap it in my hand. Yeah.
There's like a certain way we pass instruments, and you have to like pass it like that. And normally we have on like gloves and stuff, so it's a little different. So this sweet potato I already washed earlier. It's organic because that's the best for you. But if you can't find organic, you can use regular. Sometimes I cut the skin off. Sometimes I don't.
Now, the skin supposedly has a lot of the nutrients, no?
It does. You just going to say that on my show as I'm cutting all the skin off?
I'm not an expert on this, but I'm just saying.
So I was just showing you a way that you could cut the skin off, but we're going to keep the rest of the skin on because it's filled with nutrients. And a doctor said so. So what made you want to be a general surgeon as opposed to an orthopedic surgeon or a cardiac surgeon? Is there a certain orthopedic surgeon you don't like, Dr. Barrera?
I love them all.
Oh, because I can show them too.
I mean, general surgeon. Actually, when I was in medical school, I thought maybe heart surgery will be kind of interesting.
Okay.
To become a heart surgeon, you have to do a general surgery residency. And I think after 5 years of residency, I thought, I'm ready to go out there and
just do it.
And just start doing it. So, no, I love general surgery. there's a variety. And again, I talked about the robotic stuff. That's really been this really interesting new development in surgery, and so it's been
And
great.
you're one of the few doctors at our hospital that does robotic surgeries a lot.
Well, it's kind of a newer thing, but I think it's great that more and more surgeons are doing more and more robotic surgeries. So
Okay.
I was kind of an early adopter of that technology, but more and more people are using it. So it's great. So it's really been just kind of an interesting part of medicine and new developments, and so.
Yeah. Is there anyone in your family that was a doctor?
So my dad was a doctor.
Oh, so you guys have been rich for a long time, doctor. Okay. Generational.
He was a psychiatrist. Psychiatrists don't make that much.
Same thing. It's okay. I mean, you've been rich.
No.
Continue.
Well, I was born in Colombia. My dad went to medical school in Colombia.
Okay.
And there, medical school was basically covered by the government.
Oh, wow.
And what you had to do is after you graduate from medical school, you had to go to an underserved area. And that's where I was born. My
so
mom
Trump wasn't president in Colombia.
No.
Because that's
Yeah.
a lot of free
No.
stuff.
And it was great. You get a free education and then you give back to the country, right? And so my dad went to the small little town where I was born. It's called Puerto Carreño. It's right on the border of Venezuela.
Say that again?
Puerto Carreño.
You speak Spanish too, right?
Yeah.
I do too, but I don't do it on shows. But yeah.
¿Habla español? Yo no sabía.
Sí.
Wow.
So I
Bien.
just cut up the sweet potato and I'm going to cut up the cauliflower while he continues to tell us about his dad. So did your dad, since he was a psychiatrist, right?
Yes.
Did he try to overanalyze? Like if you guys are being bad, did he make you feel?
No, it's funny. My dad, I think, left his work at the office.
Okay.
The closest he ever, as far as using his psychiatric skills, my sister had a birthday party at our house, and as sort of a little fun party thing, he hypnotized some of the kids. It
What do you mean?
didn't work. He did hypnosis on the
Okay.
kids, yeah. And I think it was sort of like a party.
We don't dabble in that here, Dr. Brewer.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away with hypnotizing little kids at a party
Okay.
these days, but
What he do, make them all fall asleep? He said, I'm sleepy. This party is over, okay? I heard that. Everybody's going to
Yeah.
sleep. How do you guys know it didn't work?
well, I think one of the kids sort of acted like it worked, and you think of hypnosis like, oh, you're gonna act like a chicken or something like
Right.
that, but it was more of you put someone in sort of this trance-like state, and
Okay.
they're really relaxed, but it wasn't something where you can have people do something they didn't really want to do.
Okay.
It was kind of like a party trick, basically. So
I
that
wanted
was
to
fun.
try hypnosis before. Not for me, for my dad. Because my dad doesn't believe in any of this stuff. He always tells me when I go to work, Tina, I don't care what them doctors is telling you. It ain't nothing wrong with a pork chop sandwich. And I tell him, your doctor told you, for you, it was. So just going to doctor's appointments with him, she's like, so we don't want you to use any more salt. And he says, so how am I supposed to make my pork chops? Daddy, she doesn't want you to have the pork chops either. So how do you deal with patients? Do you guys talk about food at all? Like when it comes to, because we get some big patients.
Yeah.
And you guys know
Well,
that they're big.
It's funny. I think doctors haven't traditionally been really good about talking about food. We get patients who have cancer, and they say, "Well, what should I be eating?" And we used to tell them, "Well, just eat healthy."
Yeah.
What does that mean? But there's this really cool book called Anti-Cancer that I read, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and it actually gives sort of. So, for example, cauliflower is one of the best vegetables for patients who have cancer. It has a lot
really?
of these.
I have that in my notes, by the
Yeah.
way.
Cauliflower, broccoli, it's got a lot of nutrients. It helps you boost your immune system. So I tell patients cauliflower and broccoli, those are the best vegetables. Steam
best
it,
ones.
right?
Yeah.
Steaming is the best
You
way.
don't need to fry it. And you work at Chula Vista, so that's more of a predominantly
A lot of Hispanic patients.
Hispanic. So how do you get them to change their eating habits or consider changing it since they've eaten that way for so long?
Well,
and you're Hispanic too, so they're going to be like, how are you going to tell me?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard. I mean, it is
That's not what
hard.
my dad would say.
It's how people are raised and they're used to. For example, you ask people, well, what did you have for breakfast? And they say, well, I don't eat breakfast. I eat very little. What did you have for lunch? I barely eat lunch. And what they
then when
forget
it
to say is I eat tortillas. Every meal has tortillas, and obviously that has a lot of sugar. And so
Yeah.
trying to make them change that habit is difficult. So it's definitely a challenge. But
Yeah.
I tend to tell people don't necessarily eliminate stuff, but add stuff to your diet. So if you know, there are patients who just love meat, for example. I know this is not a meat show, but they love meat. And I say, well, instead of maybe avoiding it, just add vegetables. Have a salad with your meat. And that right there has an additive component. So
yeah, and I think a great thing that you could prescribe to all of your patients is to have them watch Plated Conversations so that they can get all of these amazing ingredients, right?
That's going to be the next step.
Even if it's just your episode, we can get them going. I'll let you put the rest of the cauliflower inside of there. So that's just cauliflower and sweet potato.
Okay.
You don't have to cut nothing.
Put them in here? All right.
Yeah.
There's nothing sharp, right? So
Nothing
I can't hurt
sharp.
myself?
I promise I won't hurt you. Because the thing is, Dr. Roy, did you know that I'm scared of needles?
What?
Yeah, terrified of needles. Like
on yourself, though?
On myself, yeah. So much to the point that people think that I'm a super mom, and I am. But I didn't have epidural with Layla.
Oh.
That's because I don't like needles.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's a needle behind my back and I can't see you.
But, I mean, childbirth is...
It is. But I also didn't
painful.
know my anesthesiologist. I don't know what kind of day you guys be having. I don't have time for you to be behind me with the needles. Not happening at all. But blood doesn't scare me.
So you did natural childbirth?
With Layla. With Emery, he was Emery. So we had an emergency C-section. I should have known then he was going to be something. But he's just his own person. You can go ahead and put those in there. Emery, if he watches this, he knows. He's my favorite boy and Layla's my favorite girl. Before we started following each other on Instagram, this is extra virgin olive oil. I'm glad you asked because I'm just pouring stuff in here. So you're going to get to tousle that together. That's the word on my show. Yes.
Tousle?
Tousle. We have Dr. Robert Robinson here too. He always corrects me on my speech.
Okay.
So that's why I'm using certain words. It's making him twitch over there. He's going crazy. But yeah, you're going to tousle that as if you would hair. Oh, I'm so jealous. Because I think we started to really get to know each other once we started following each other on Instagram.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I started seeing your family.
You started seeing, I'm putting some cracked black pepper. We're going to put all that in there.
Keep tousling?
Keep tousling. Yeah. You're going to keep tousling. And they're going to keep hating. But yeah, so.
What are you putting in here?
This right here is some paprika, smoked paprika. And then we're going to put some chili powder.
Nice.
Yeah. And the great thing about chili powder is it isn't too hot, but you can add some more heat if you want to.
You don't like spicy food? Or do you
love spicy food. The spicier, the better. I'm not like my dad. He loves this is garlic powder. I'm just going to put that all on there. So yeah, so you're going to tousle that together. But yeah, so we started to know each other, I think, a little more on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got a load of Emery.
Well, I used to see those forest hikes up mountains and trails.
Forest hikes. First of all, they're regular hikes. He would, he would always, because Layla is,
I just don't remember any smiling going on in those pictures.
Smile, but they love it deep down inside. And I would get back to work and he would really feel bad for them. But I'm like, oh, they're all still alive. Because Layla has these fake asthma attacks. She tells me she's about to faint. And I tell her in the history of faintage, that's faintage.
Faintage.
No one has ever told you they're going to faint. You just faint. You just don't. She's like, oh, I think I'm about to faint. I'm about to faint. So we can finish this hike because we're going to finish. But yeah, she's always lived and she's fine. Yeah. So you can go ahead. Great tousling, by the way. Yes. And you can just pour all of that on here.
Just put it over?
You're just going to dump it all on there. And then we're just going to put this in the oven. You can spread it out because your hands are dirty. Mine aren't. We're gonna
they're clean, actually.
They're clean, yeah. They're not contaminated at all.
All right.
And then we're going to put this in the oven on 350 for about 25 minutes. And the great thing about TV Magic is we have some that's already done. Now we are going to make a really, really good cashew chipotle cream that you can put on top. Since I don't use sour cream or any kind of dairy or anything like that, this will be a good thing. So we're going to take approximately... You're going to be like Vanna White.
Okay.
but a man. So you can be Pat Sajak. You just be Dr. Barrera. So I'm gonna give it to you. You're just gonna pour it in here.
All of it?
You're gonna pour all that. So that's just cashews. They're cashew halves. You can get whole ones if you want to, but cashews are great because it makes a nice like creamy texture. It's okay.
Look at
It's
that.
clean.
So messy.
You're doing a great job. The next thing we're going to do is add some pink Himalayan salt.
Just some.
Some. And you're done.
That's it?
And then you're gonna put 1 clove. Put 2 cloves of garlic.
I love garlic.
You love garlic?
Yes.
Okay, then you can put 3 because I love garlic too. Yeah. You just when you do stuff, and your kids. How old are your sons?
19 and 16.
Okay. So, and the 19-year-old is at Johns Hopkins University, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been rich. So you can put all of that in there.
Oh.
But something that I'm going to tell you that they're going to love is whenever you do something that may be excessive, just say Thug Life after it. So since I told you to put 1 and you put 3, just say Thug Life and do it.
Okay.
And make sure you do it in front of them. Text me what they say. 'Cause they probably going.
They're gonna make fun of me, is what they're gonna say.
Yeah, it's fine. That's all part of being a parent.
Yeah, that's
so then
true.
what I'm going to have you do you think that squoze is a word?
I think it may become a word in the future. I don't know if it is. The more you use it, I think it'll become a word.
It's a word now, Dr. Barrera.
Okay,
so
it's
you're
a
going
word.
to squeeze those into there. Squoze mean what you just did.
What I did, past
Yes.
tense.
Yeah. Robert,
Should I squeeze both?
You can squeeze both in there.
And then I will have squoze in them.
Period. And look at Robert. Mad, but another doctor said it, so you cannot hate. Okay? Yeah, it's just been an ongoing thing. Yeah, you can put 2 in there.
Ongoing thing with words?
Just with squoze. Like,
Oh.
he tries to act like it's not a word, and it's like you said it. If you can say something, I feel like it's a word.
I think so. I think language is living, and the more you use it, suddenly you can make it a word, right?
Just say whatever you want. And when you say whatever you want, what do you say after that, Dr. Barrera?
Thug life.
There you go. There you go. And your sons are going to be so
I think they're gonna laugh at me. But
they're going to laugh at you a lot, but you said it, so it's fine. So you're going to put 2 chipotles in there. And those add like a nice flavor.
I've never seen a real chipotle without it being in a salsa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tell you that I got these out of my Mexican grandmother's backyard, but I'm not Mexican, and both of my grandmothers are passed away. So we'll just pretend. Okay. And then we're going to put water in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
How much water is that?
A
couple ounces?
Enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The whole amount?
Yeah. Just put that in there. And then what we're going to do, I'll let you dry your hands there. Mm-hmm. So then in my ultra fancy NutriBullet, who is going to sponsor us one day, we're going to go ahead and mix this together, and it's going to taste yummy. And you can add whatever seasonings you want to this. We added some garlic powder. We added some salt, some pink Himalayan salt, some pepper, 2 chipotles, and 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're going to mix it together.
Cool.
So we squoze, actually not we, Dr. Barrera squoze 2 limes in here. And a tip I want to give everyone is that you can always buy lime and lemon organic, and it's just pure juice. So if you don't have a lemon tree, did you still when you were little, like lemon trees?
Did I
still lemon? It's
a
long time, so
I don't think I don't think I, gosh. Yes, I did.
Thank you. And then when you still just
I sense that's what you wanted me to say. So yes, I did. Definitely
Dr.
did.
Barrera, yeah. But here's the thing: we used to always steal lemons off of lemon trees and stuff. But you don't have to steal
I don't think that's
anymore.
a crime.
It's not a crime, especially if you don't get caught. Okay. So we're gonna put this on here, and you just twist it.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the bullet. Cool.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm gonna add a little bit more water to it to give it a really nice consistency. But you can kind of already smell it, huh?
Oh yeah.
It smells so good.
It does smell good.
Yeah, and you can add whatever. Cashews is great as a base for any kind of sauce. I love sauces, so you can add any flavors to cashews because they have no taste like when they're in And you don't want to touch the blades as it's going, but it's okay because we have a doctor.
Yeah.
What if something really happened? What would you do if, like, I cut myself?
Hold pressure.
Dr.
And
Brad,
I'd
pull the
put
plug.
a
Just pull the plug.
put a
If anything
Band-Aid.
ever happens to me, let me tell you, because I am not the one to be a patient.
Oh, really?
There's no plug near me or on me, but still pull it. If you guys think you're about to get an IV in me,
That's it.
they used to hate me at my doctor's appointments when I was pregnant because I don't understand why they just can't use the same blood. Like every time I go, I shouldn't have to keep getting my blood drawn on the same person. So you don't need to keep doing that. But yeah, I hated that. Which is why I have 2 kids that are 10 years apart.
You had to forget what it was like, huh?
Okay, so I think this is pretty good. And then what we are going to do, so I'm just going to put these in the oven to warm the tortillas. And as I'm warming them, I'm going to take out our mixture. And so you want to be careful not to get any burns. What's the craziest surgery you've ever had to do? Like, has somebody ever walked in and you used to be like, how did this happen?
Gosh. Yeah, I don't know if we can talk about that on the show, though. It's
If it's going to get me canceled, think of something else.
What's the craziest surgery?
You can summarize it.
What's the craziest? Like,
I mean, you know, those crazy surgeries that we sometimes have where people place things where they shouldn't
where they
go.
shouldn't be placed and they want to come
Those
in
are-
and say
those
they
are-
don't know how it got there.
So the craziest one was someone did one of those things. I don't know if your audience is going to get what I mean.
They're going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they came in, they took an x-ray, and what the x-ray showed was basically the Statue of Liberty, like this, and it was in the pelvis. And we're like, what is that? And it was a little Statue of Liberty that was covered with a plastic cover that someone had placed in their backside. Intentionally, and it was a pencil sharpener. But it had the right shape, I guess. And we take that what you may, what the right shape was. And
Just nasty.
we,
How
yeah.
do you look them in their face and not just be like,
Well, I have no problem looking them in their face. They have a problem looking at me. They're kind of
yeah, I can see that.
like this. And
I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to be like, we need to arrest who did this. I would never.
You know, typically they do it to themselves. You know, it's like.
Wait, you said typically they do it to themselves?
Oh yeah, they do it to themselves.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Y'all
No.
nasty.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite surgery?
You know, you guys are gonna think I have like some weird thing, like hemorrhoid surgery. I hate hemorrhoid surgery. I just don't like doing
that's
hemorrhoid
kind of
surgery.
freaky.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so.
I think my least favorite surgery to do, well, my favorite surgeries to do are anything open. Like, I love when y'all cut open and take out all the intestines and the colon and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool to me.
We just do that less and less commonly now.
I know everything is, when you guys say, oh, we're going to go laparoscopic.
You're like,
I'll be
how boring.
This is boring.
Yeah.
Do you hate getting called in?
I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone loves getting called in.
That's why I
But
couldn't be a doctor, because you guys will call me.
yeah, that's a little annoying. But luckily it doesn't happen that often, and you know.
Yeah, no, you guys would call me and you would still be calling me. Because I hate when I'm on call and I just called in. And then
Well, I always find out. I always ask, well, who's on call?
who's on call? Does that
and they
make
say
it easier?
Satina. I'm like, okay, we're not coming in. We're not coming in.
When you,
We're not coming in. She's gonna be mad at me. We're not coming in.
No, I won't be mad. But there's some surgeons like yourself who are very fast at what you guys do. So when we get called in at 2 and 3 in the morning, I need you to take out their heart. Because if I come in at 2 in the morning for a 10-minute surgery, you better take out tonsils, molar teeth, tongues, everything.
Make
Like,
it worth your time.
Make it worth my time. Because then you can't go back to sleep and
Yeah.
then I got to
Oh, your day's
buy a
ruined.
donut.
Yeah, no, your day's ruined. That's for sure.
You know? don't
for
like
sure.
to do all of that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my studio audience is laughing at. But it's okay. Are you enjoying yourself
Wow.
so far?
I am. I'm a little less nervous right now.
Okay, good. Pretend the cameras aren't there. So this is everything.
Looks delicious.
I don't know if it's on my. The sweet potato, cauliflower, and black beans. So what we did was put the sweet potato and the cauliflower in there. You're gonna stir it around after about 15 minutes, and like the last 5 minutes, you'll throw black beans on top.
Ooh, nice.
Because those don't need to be cooked as thoroughly as the other two. So what we are going to do now, you probably wouldn't normally use one of these on other cooking shows, but I saw it in the store, so we're gonna use it on mine. And
what is that? Does that have a name?
Yes.
Big spoon?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's what it's called. I'm glad you said
beautiful.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what I love about this is that you can turn this, like say you get called in, when you're still eating or whatever, you can just bundle some of this up in a container, add avocado to it, add whatever to it, and have a bowl,
Yeah.
instead of like
putting in a
sometimes
tortilla.
You don't really want to take the whole like shell and all of that.
Right.
So, and I have these wonderful avocado knives. You guys are going to get into these knives because they're so pretty. They're probably not avocado knives, but that's what they're going to be called on my show. Do you like avocado?
I love avocado, yeah.
Okay, so I won't be greedy. I'll let you have that whole one.
Oh.
And
I get an avocado knife?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're rich on this show.
I just don't want to cut myself.
Look, if you cut yourself, I kind of know what to do. We don't really have any sutures here, but we have needle and thread. When we were little, my mom thought that Vaseline and toilet paper cured everything. Have you ever heard of that?
I'd never heard of that till you just told me that.
Let me help you with your practice. If you have someone that is bleeding profusely and you can see the bone, fill it with Vaseline.
Okay.
Wrap it with toilet paper until the toilet paper is gone.
How long does that take?
So look, it happened to my elbow, and this elbow, if I hit it, I feel stuff from 10 years ago. Like it never fully healed.
So if I'm in the emergency room, someone comes in like that.
You're on call. You're tired.
Don't go to the gauze and all that stuff. Go to the bathroom. Get some toilet paper.
Good toilet paper.
Put Vaseline and wrap it in toilet paper.
That's it. And tell them call me at 3 p.m., not in the morning, because they be thinking that's 3 a.m. Call me around 3 p.m. in 10 years and tell me how it feels.
In 10 years.
Let me tell you, I feel like I can sue my mom because my elbow still has not healed. But I probably had no business putting nobody in the headlock, but that's a different story. So what we're going to do now is use our spatula, and it's supposed to make a nice, we'll make it look nice.
That's like drizzle, right? It's like a drizzle.
Drizzle. So you're learning a lot of new words on my show, and I like that. You got to tousle.
Tousle.
All of the.
Tousle.
I feel like I like the way you plated yours instead, but it's okay.
I just cut it into cubes.
Yeah, it looks good. You like cilantro?
I love cilantro.
How do you say cilantro in Spanish?
Cilantro.
There you go. I always try to have my guests speak as authentic as possible because I don't want to be the only one doing it. So this is the good part. So beautiful. So I'm going to give you a napkin because this is so delicious that I'm sure it's going to waste. And I want you to taste it and tell me what you think.
This looks amazing.
Did I put everything on it? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
This.
I'm excited before you bite it. I know.
Oh my God.
I know. What's happening for you right now?
There's like an explosion of flavor.
Didn't pay him to say that. Let's see.
It's tousling my tongue. Is that not the right way to use that word? No? Oh.
What did you say after?
Thug life. It's really good. So good. It's really good.
Isn't it so good. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
And
God.
it's filling. It's all
It's
vegetables.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about is it too spicy?
No.
It's perfect.
Well, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably do spicier even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have added the whole can if we wanted to.
No, this is delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you love it.
Nice job. Thank you.
Mhm. No, thank you.
Do you have these recipes written out?
I can write it out for you. I'm just so good that I come up with it on my own. But I can write it out for you. And your clients, your patients who
Yeah.
will be watching this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them, even if they're overweight or not. One question I did want to ask you, you love to play music and all of that. Who is your favorite, like, you're at work, it's been a stressful day, you want to come home and listen to some good music. Who do you put on?
Oh, after work?
Mm-hmm.
I love John Coltrane.
John Coltrane.
I love, and then as far as piano players, I love Herbie Hancock and
Okay.
Oscar Peterson.
Nice.
They're just like my favorite.
Yeah, Dr. Barrera plays the piano too. Yeah,
little
maybe we'll get some behind the scenes of him playing our amazing piano that we have here that was given to us by, is Pavarotti, is that a person?
Yeah, he was an
played the
opera
piano,
singer.
right? Oh, he was an opera singer.
Opera singer, yeah.
Whoever is a famous, well-known piano player is who we got our piano from, and
They
he's
get-
going to play on it.
They, oh,
Mhm.
wow.
They did
Okay.
it. We're doing that from our
Yeah,
show.
that's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So, what else? What else I want to ask you? I feel like this is not the work setting, and it's just, yeah. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
being on the show.
This was so
I'm glad
fun.
that you love it. I'm glad that you love. You can have many, many more of those. Are we doing?
I don't know. I don't.
handshake? That's weird.
We're
I'm
not
gonna
supposed to
do
shake
that
hands
with you.
anymore.
We're not supposed to. No, and you're a doctor. You should know that.
Do this.
Mhm.
Elbows.
Thank you so much for watching Play the Conversations. If you make this, I know you will, multiple times, tag me in it and let me know what you thought of it. If it tousled your tongue as well. Okay, bye.